Hello and welcome to Fintech Focus TV with me, Toby Babb, and today I'm delighted to be joined by Clive Posselt from Instrumentix. Clive, how are you?
Very good, thank you, Toby. Nice to be here.
Likewise. Listen, well done. Instrumentix featured in the definitive list of the most influential fintechs of 2019 in the Financial Technologist magazine. It's an interesting business, but for those who haven't heard of it back home, can you tell us a little bit more about the company?
Yeah, Instrumentix is a flow monitoring business, so really what that means is we monitor and provide performance analytics across distributed trading infrastructures, no matter what asset class.
And it's been growing quite nicely from what I understand.
Absolutely, we've been exceptionally busy acquiring new customers and entering new geographies, so it's been a very busy period of time.
Continues to evolve, and there's an interesting part about it because when we look at the Financial Technologist, and there's 175 companies that are featured in this list, and there's common themes naturally that you look at and clusters. Some of those around the particular area. There's a lot around capital markets technology, which I think is a really interesting time at the moment. Some of them are about the setup of the business and maybe the backing or maybe the business plan, the strategy, or the tech areas which they're involved in. I think the interesting thing about you guys is one of the things that makes a business potentially the most investable, but also a business that generally tends to thrive, particularly a tech business, which is the quality of the founding team. And you've got that nice blend of people who've been in the industry as users who are now building a product that's very much for the user. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, that's very fair to say. Our core team have all worked within banks, exchanges and venues, tier ones. They've worked across asset classes. From the technology side, building trading infrastructures, and my background is on electronic trading within banks on sales and sales trading format. So effectively, we've been our own customers.
Yeah, and when you've been on that sort of side, tell me some of the frustrations that you were finding that's been useful for you on this side of the fence.
I think some of the frustrations historically has been around the silo of data.
Yeah.
You have legacy platforms that you have an island of data which is very hard to extract that from. You have an inability to enrich data from other sources, or also take data out to feed other optimized data solutions. So if we, for us, and the way we've built our product is very much as middleware. Yeah. We can fit between other data sets to really drive material value for both the technology and the trading part of the business.
Yeah, and that versatility is really important, isn't it? I think there's another feature there about successful tech companies and companies who are having that influence over the course of this year, that it does seem that sort of ability to adapt and to have flexibility to it has been pretty critical.
Very critical to us. It's something that our customers really like. Certainly it's an area that, coming from our own backgrounds, was important to us when we were building the product. Flexibility of implementation is hugely important. Clients have made investments in legacy technology that potentially don't keep up with the sort of data sets and analytics that they need now. So ours is a fully modular software solution. It's not delivered as an appliance. And what that means is if clients have some form of legacy architecture which we can hook into and leverage, they don't necessarily buy the whole kitchen sink when they only need the hot tap. And we can slot in to a client's existing infrastructure to help them make that leap on the analytics and the understanding of the behaviour of their trading systems.
Which is why there's been so much interest clearly in the product at the moment.
Exactly.
You spoke about it being an interesting time and some good stuff happening with the business at the moment. What's on the cards? What's 2019 hold for the business?
2019 is we're really excited about the opportunity to really spread our wings on new customer engagement, which is happening already as this part of the year on a multi-geographic sense, which is fantastic. And I think the key for the development of the product is to keep investing in functionality that makes it easier and easier for our customers to integrate our products with their existing infrastructure.
Yeah. That's another classic example there of common themes. Is the businesses there that are making it easy. And I think, you know, if you were to say one thing, if you want to have a successful business, a software business at the moment, it's how easy is your product making people's lives, and are you making the lives that need to be made easy alongside that as well?
Yes, I think we are.
Yeah.
The ability to have that flexibility of integration and deployment is hugely important, but our customers gain value across the organisation. So typically we could have users within compliance, in IT infrastructure, application support, connectivity, in trading strategy, sort of feeding into the quant groups, and actually on the trading desk themselves. So it's a very flexible integration, but a very broad value delivery across the client organisation.
Definitely. And you mentioned multi-geographic as well.
Yep.
Tell us where your footprint is.
Currently based in the UK,
Yeah.
but we do not have a footprint in the US, for example. However, we are engaged and deployed in the United States and elsewhere in Europe, and would really look to expand that footprint. We're looking and have an early stage conversation about expanding out into Asia as well.
Excellent. And in terms of the sort of the next step, or who should be speaking to you about their next steps as a business, who are the right people to be talking to you at the moment?
I think
who should be picking up the phone?
Who should be picking up the phone? Any company or firm who's carrying out electronic trading.
Yeah.
If they're using legacy infrastructure, we can adapt with them to enhance their analytics and their ability to really drive value, operational oversight, and look at working on their regulatory obligations. And also, in the past, what we do, flow monitoring, infrastructure and trading infrastructure monitoring, and the business side of it, has been inordinately expensive.
Yeah.
And very complex.
Yeah.
We have effectively democratized that process. So in the past, the sort of products that came before us were only really available from a price perspective and a complexity perspective to the tier one big investment banks. Yeah. And our view is it doesn't matter how big you are, what size your firm, you should have full open access to understand the performance of your trading infrastructure and the knock-on effect that's having not just on execution performance or P&L, but also on your user and customer experience as well. I think that's hugely important. So really anybody carrying out electronic trading within any market is the likely candidate for us to have a conversation with.
It's interesting there, you mentioned some of the bigger companies and look, I guess in financial technology at the moment, one of the big bugbears and barriers is the procurement process. How are you guys dealing with that?
Well, something we've done right from the outset is make sure that not only are they addressing the questions and the due diligence from our potential clients' technology groups, but making sure that we can handle that procurement process as ably as we possibly can. Obviously, it's more difficult as an early stage company, but it is increasingly becoming much easier, and we're focusing on making that as easy for our potential clients as possible.
Yeah, I think that's really important, isn't it? It's always surprising when it's a shock to people about that particular issue, and to get through that and to think about those sort of things again, I think is a sign of a growth business. Clive, I also know you're a keen observer of the market and capital markets, technology trends and such like. It's an interesting year. We were talking before about the macroeconomic factors that sit before us at the moment. Get your crystal ball out. What's 2019 got in store for us in trading technology?
I think it's. I think what is interesting is we're at the start of a secular process, really enabled by technology and changes in the industry. Regulation was really driving investment for a number of years, particularly with MiFID II and other regulation brought in the US as well. What we're starting to see is customers saying, actual fact, we've gone through a lot of the investment and pain to deal with our regulatory obligations. Where are we on providing performance? Yeah. Not just on a pure P&L if you're a principal trader or market making business, but customer experience. If you look at MiFID and the unbundling of research from execution, the abilities to firms to differentiate by execution performance has been has risen vastly, and we're now really seeing people understanding that they might not be as big as the tier one, but they're going to be judged in the same way because they're not providing research that is driving execution to go to their businesses. So I think we're seeing a clear shift away from the regulatory drive within the industry to pure performance and customer experience.
Yeah, I think that I'd absolutely echo that. I think it's a fascinating time, and that customer experience thing keeps shrieking through in everyone we're talking to at the moment, I guess it goes with the growing digital world, doesn't it? Expectations are so much higher in every single aspect, and it's great to see. I think that forward-thinking finance firms are really looking at that and working out what can be done to improve the journey for all aspects. So, yeah, wise words indeed. So look, as a final thing, there's going to be a lot of people out there who've listened to some of the things you're saying and saying that affects me. What's the best way to get in touch with you?
Best way to get in touch is via our website, instrumentix.co.uk. There's a contact form, or hit me up on LinkedIn, or quite a lot of people around the industry know me, so just pick up the phone, give me a call.
Listen, that's been absolutely fantastic. Thanks so much for coming on the show and sharing everything about the business. I wish you the very best of luck. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much indeed for having me, Toby.
Cheers. And thanks to you all for watching. We'll see you soon on another episode of Fintech Focus TV. Thanks for watching.